I think one of the things to look at when we are discovering anger, when we've got enough time to look within ourselves and question anger instead of just believing that we're angry because of what we're seeing out there. Or sometimes anger comes and we don't have an inkling as to why it's there, we just feel angry. Um, but when we give ourselves the time to look, to go inside and say, what's going on? Because I am the only thing I'm ever experiencing, and I don't like it when I'm angry. Well, I'm never actually angry. Anger happens, but I'm not angry, otherwise, I'd be angry forever, always. So, I, as an individual, am not angry, but anger comes, and I don't like it when anger comes. And so, the work of looking inside is to question what's going on for me, because right now I have this anger coming, and I think what's very important to recognize always is that in most cases, anger is related to um, a deep seated fear, a much deeper fearful emotion, or a deep seated emotion that I don't want to look at. And the anger comes as a means, as a tool to say there's something to look at. So, in essence, anger is one of our warning systems. It's not a system that tells us, it's not an aspect of us that says, you're right and you are validated to be angry, because of the story that you're following. No, anger's coming because something's been triggered that's related to a deep seated emotion that we haven't looked at yet in our life. So something happens, either a thought or something real in your outside world, and then the thoughts about that. And it triggers an area of life that needs to be looked at, that's out of balance, that's out of harmony. It triggers it. And then to cover it up, to stop us looking at it because that might be too painful, we use anger. It's an avoidance technique. But if you question it, if you have the time to stop rather than just being angry, you see, if you decide I'm so angry, then everything that you are becomes anger. Whereas if you can first and foremost recognize, oh, anger's going on, it's not very easy when anger's going on to say, anger's going on right now. It's not, but that's the awareness that is needed to do the inner work, right? So anger, I'm angry. Anger's going on. That's interesting. Let me have a look at that. Let me have a look at that. Now, I might have to wait a little while first for the anger to subside a tad so that I can then look at it. But eventually I'll say, okay, I've got anger going on here. And apparently anger's an avoidance technique. So what is it that I'm avoiding? Now, the way to look at it is you simply look at the anger and say, what's behind it? You have your eyes closed. You want to go in to do this. You're not looking at thoughts. You're not analyzing it. You're not trying to find out via your thought system what it might mean. You're looking at the feeling with your attention and you're asking the question from your thoughts, what's behind that? Let me look. Show me. What's behind it? And often when I do that, tears will come, or sadness, deep sadness will come. And more often than not, I don't really know what it's related to, not at the conscious, rational level, but something's there. And of course, when I do that and there's a release, the sadness is then, the top is taken off the sadness or the fear or whatever emotion it is deep down there, the hurt. Then it comes, and that's all we want. We want to allow the emotion to come. So when you're angry, question it. When you've got the time, stop, question it, have a look. Like, what's going on there? What is it? What's happening? What is it that in my entire reality right now, anger's going on? And I'm the only thing that's happening that I know of, right? It's always good to remember that. Watch my videos, I'll tell you again and again. I'm the only thing going on, ever. So that I've got this emotion happening for me right now. What does that mean? What's going on? And with anger, it's more often than not an avoidance technique that we use because we're not able, or at least until this time, we haven't learned how to heal our emotions, how to balance them. And we've just got to recognize that our emotions don't define our status, right? So we've sort of been taught at the rational level that you shouldn't be this and you shouldn't be this and you should show up this way and don't show up that way because that way is weak and this way is strong and this is the way you need to show up to the world. But so when we've got those rigid parameters that we move through life from, we avoid all this plethora of emotional body that we have because we're trying to follow what the mind says is the right way and the wrong way. And so we don't know how to balance it, but the way to balance it is to say it's okay, especially for a man. It's okay if I cry. It's okay if tears come. It's okay if I'm sad sometimes. It's okay if I'm afraid sometimes. Because that stuff's all there for all of us, right? So we balance it by looking and saying what's behind that, and then allowing the emotion to come, and give yourself a big hug. And have an absolutely fantastic day today. Thank you.